Sweat Equity Podcast and streaming show, the #1 comedy business comedy podcast in the world.
Yeah.
Woo!
Human soundboard.
Yeah.
Today.
No. I don't have any soundboard.
No, I have it.
Oh,
I do it with my mouth. Sometimes I make it in my mouth.
I'll just let that sit.
There's a lot of people out there who get the joke that you don't get.
You gotta make in your mouth. You talking about jizz? All right. We're 2020's best small, medium enterprise business advisory podcast in the United States. We're 2021's best podcast and streaming entertainment studio, Eastern United States Media Innovator Awards 2021. And we're 2022's Global Lux Awards or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
That's the one.
We just re-brag everything
2023.
like Trump,
Go.
like Big Daddy D, Big Daddy T. Listen to us on the iTunes, Apple Podcast app, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcast, Samsung Podcast on your Galaxy phone. Yeah, we're on that as well. This episode's brought to you by Viome, your gut biome test. Get gut intelligence test supplements with our link on health insights, personalized food recommendations, and precision supplements formulated just for you. Get that flora and fauna going.
Yeah.
What's your gut about?
It's fauna, mostly fauna.
What's your Guthrie's gut box all about?
Shout out to GP.
Yeah. Let's get it
do this
started.
during
This
the
is gonna
show,
be a
you
loose
know.
one.
Oof,
This is gonna
God.
be a no guest loose podcast.
What about my sweat equity?
Howdy, got it.
Sweat equity. Sweat equity. My sweat equity. My sweat equity. What about my sweat equity?
I should be mad at you for getting me addicted to nicotine gum.
I didn't do that.
I
I didn't chew it for you.
That's fair. I blame Truth for not telling me how great it was.
It's pretty cool.
Growing up, gives me a little pop, and now I'm just like
Just a little pop.
I'm chain gumming. I'm chain chewing.
Yeah. Your mouth's gonna start rotting.
I can feel. I just got to the point where I'm getting like a canker sore. I think.
Ew.
Isn't that from
Gross. I mean, yeah, probably chewing on the inside of your mouth all the time.
that or eating too much box? Yeah, that's what I say when I get up.
Soundboard's got a new look. You gotta relearn all the buttons.
What were you were texting a Russian? Not our friend Vadim from the previous episode.
No, it's a different one. There's a website, and I don't have it, but I'll put it in the show notes. I promise. They basically, I don't know how they're getting these phone numbers, but it'll generate a Russian cell phone number,
Okay.
and then it has like copy and pasted in Russian, like the Kremlin is lying to you, something, like
Huh.
just straight up direct texting. And I got a read receipt.
So
Thought that was interesting.
you're hoping the person on the other end is like legit person?
Well, I mean, I thought about like what could you get, like what could you steal from me digitally by me
Yeah.
texting, and I was like, I don't think it's any big deal.
Well, they got a legit phone number
Yeah,
to maybe
had to
cold
put
call with.
I had to do the plus. You want to text one right now? I
Yeah.
would have to look it up.
Say, how big is your wiener?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. We could have texted them whatever we wanted.
Right. Yeah, maybe it would get their mind off of everything.
Oh man, we can still do it.
I can vamp while you're looking this up. I got
Text a Russian.
I got an interesting phone call. I've been on those dating apps. I compare them to digital marketing in a lot of ways.
What?
Yeah, because we're in the digital marketing kind of field, and so the dating apps are kind of similar to that. I got an interesting dating app gal that ghosted me like 3 years ago. This is really strange. So she texts me. This is a girl that straight up ghosted me and called me today. It was almost like she was in AA to make an amends.
Oh, nice.
She wanted to apologize for ghosting me.
Wow,
And I
what?
was like, huh. And I was
Dude,
like, I don't,
that's kind of crazy.
now
Wow.
I give her points for doing that, except for the thought I haven't thought about it in probably 2.75 years,
Right?
right? Like,
Now I'm trying to do the math.
well, it's like so like, you know, I probably was like at the time I was probably like, well, that's a bummer, but I didn't give it much more thought than that. I just go, okay, she's a flake, whatever, no big deal. You know, I think we only.
This is hard for me to talk about because I know extra beyond what you want to talk about on the podcast.
No, there's
In
not,
general, just in general.
there's not much more.
I'm just trying to figure out who it was.
I don't think you ever met her, or him. I'll protect it.
You don't know.
No, I think we went out once. I think I told you she came to a stand-up show, and she was
Oh,
doing all this bullshit.
that's what happened. That's why you got ghosted.
No, well, that's what I thought. I had to really go back in the text that we had, and I was like, the last text is like, what's it called? I'll leave you some tickets at the front, right? That's the last text we had at the Ybor Improv, the Tampa Improv, and I go, I'll leave you some tickets under your name +1 or whatever. The backstory behind that is like the night before we were hanging out, and she's telling me all this stuff about, basically how like virtue signaling she was, and like how I need religion in my life, or I need some kind of like, I'm like, this seems like maybe I have a thing for chicks that like to project, but it seems to be a common thing. Well, so she started talking to me about all this stuff, and I philosophically, it was just going back at her. It was a friendly conversation, but I think I made her feel not that great.
Why? What did you do?
I was just like, well, you claim you're this, but yet you told me you're
fucking
this.
doubled down on her ass.
Yeah,
Huh? You could
well-
just take a nice apology.
No. I'm talking about 3 years ago. I'm
Oh.
going night before.
I got you.
I did a stand-up show. I gave her tickets.
I
She
see.
showed up with a friend. I went into religion in my act, kind of at her a little bit,
Right.
because it was top of mind
I
probably.
knew you were doing your comedy at me.
Well, some people do feel that. I do get people after shows like, what you said was offensive, and like,
Right.
it's like, who touched you? Who hurt you?
Yeah.
Like, it's not me. The 299 other people laughed. Sorry. And so I was like, wow, she really, and I'm never really too mean. So I know myself that I know, like, I didn't go hard in the paint on either the night before or during the show, but I definitely would like poke the bear a little bit. And I thought it was from that. So I never I think she was like, oh,
Thought it was God's wrath.
she never waited around after the show, because I was like, I'll be out of my set. We can go do something or whatever. And and just was a no-show. I think she left during my set. And so
Slammed the door real hard.
well, I'm always like, but part of me is like, I'm just trying to make people laugh. This is a different stage. It's a little stage. Like, it's a different setting,
Yes.
And then that was our last text, was about leaving her tickets. So I was like, I think we made plans to meet up after, and she didn't show up. And I was like, okay, well, she's a flake. But she called today and was like, hey, what I did was not cool. I read some article about ghosting, that it's actually like a better way to break off ties. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I agree with that article, but I wasn't like sobbing about it,
Yeah.
The dating app stuff, until you're really dating someone seriously, it's like there's going to be an element that they could ghost at any moment.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
Sure.
so I don't know what to do with that information. I just,
Oh.
it happened today. Like, it happened 3 hours ago. So I was just like, oh.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, that rarely happens. Take it for what it is.
And then I was like, I didn't know how to end the conversation. I was like, how's life been going?
Yeah.
She's like,
So you
oh,
would go out?
I've had a baby.
Whoa.
I was
Okay.
like, whoa. Okay. And
That's a new
with
wrinkle. That.
with a dude that she was with during the COVID pandemic lockdown that they're not together. And I was just like, oh, okay. Well, I gotta, and then she beat me to the I gotta go.
Well,
She's like, well, I got to study for some test,
anyway.
and I got a client coming in. I was like, yeah. She said 3 things she had to go for, and I was like, I don't believe any of these. I was just like, all right, well, I'll talk to you never. I don't know.
I got chicken burning.
You find that site?
Yes. The site is 1920.in. You basically go to the
India?
site. Yeah, yes. Or Indiana. Do they have their own internet?
No.
Could be short for internet.
Could be. Go on freenom,
Anyway.
freenom.com if you want a country code domain.
Okay. And yeah, you can go on there and it gives you 3 choices. Send an SMS, WhatsApp, or an email. And then you can copy and paste, and it'll give you an email address or a phone number. Or SMS. I hit the little plus before and everything for it to go out. But yeah, no response.
Yeah.
Still
They
waiting
might
to
not
hear
have.
back.
They might not have the ability to
pen
talk
pal.
outside of the country. You might have to
probably.
WhatsApp them. Probably.
Yeah,
Apparently, that's what they all do.
yeah.
All them crazy white people over there. Yeah. The what's interesting on the business side of all the Ukrainian-Russian war, which I don't know if it's me, it feels like the news of this has died down a little bit in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I hope it stays that way.
Well, I'm not
Relatively,
it's-
not so much. I mean,
It
just
seems like the war's upped its ante.
right. But I'm
it's-
saying, like, hopefully they're not piping in with horrible news. You know, like if it's kind of what it is right now. I mean, I hate to say it, but you kind of take it.
Yeah.
Although I didn't pay attention the last couple of days. What happened?
I don't know. I
You were
think
just saying it up to Danny.
no. It feels that way. I've
Oh.
imbibed stuff. I don't really seek out news, so it comes
Okay.
my way, kind of thing. Kind of how you have your life set up. Like
Yeah.
we're not CNN, Fox News junkies or anything like that.
No, for sure.
Like, when's the last time you purposely turned one of those channels on?
Oh my God.
When,
I don't know if I've
probably in
ever
your 20s when you're like, I should
Right.
start watching the news.
grown up.
Right.
I'm gonna be responsible. Show mom and dad I can do it.
What's interesting is the companies that have pulled out of Russia and the ones that haven't for business reasons.
Ooh, what are the ones that haven't? Do we have a list of those?
I can find one. I saw a meme of it. Like, these are the countries that have not pulled out of Russia, or businesses that have not pulled out of Russia.
Well, I mean, that's, gotta stop buying from those guys. They're probably shit that you can't live without.
And my biggest thing was I thought we got all our oil from Canada, which was like the biggest like misnomers. Here we go. Business Insider, you slutty slut website.
Pulled out.
While many were quick to pull out of Russia in the aftermath,
Did you come in it?
others have been slow to retreat, like McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Starbucks.
Well, okay. The crazy thing that I did see on Reddit was a video inside a, like a grocery store there. There's nothing. They're already, there's nothing on the shelves already.
So
And those people aren't fighting that
Right,
war.
right,
That's what
right,
sucks. It's
right.
like, they have regular people too. And most, it's like 1% maybe.
you're telling me
That
they don't get
sucks.
Oreo, Ritz, Cadbury, Trident gum?
What? Is that?
Business Insider is like it is like the tabloid for business articles.
Business tabloids.
It's so it makes LinkedIn's articles look a lot like,
Oh,
these
totally
are
know what you're talking about,
Harvard
man.
Business Review. Oh wait, we got a top 10 list here. Salvador Ferragamo,
Doesn't
the,
care.
the Italian fashion
Right,
company.
doesn't
Wow.
care.
Mars, okay, not super
But
necessary.
they're interstellar. So,
What are?
Mars.
Ooh, okay.
Heyo.
Whiskas, Kit Kat, Pedigree, Chappie, Sheba brands. All right.
I don't know any of those shit.
Kimberly Clark.
Prestige. That's the toilet company.
Well, they own Kleenex, Kotex, and Cottonelle, so good luck wiping your ass, blowing
Everything
your
in
nose.
the toilet department.
Tissues.
No, they're good. They're still there. Right? These are the ones that are still in Russia.
Yes.
Letting those Russians pee and poop.
I'm just saying, like, none of these have any effect.
Defeats the purpose.
Cody, cosmetic company, these are all fucking fluff. Hilton's still around.
Oh, yeah.
Hyatt's still there. International Continental.
All the hotels.
Yeah, one could say they should. What are
Another
they supposed?
hotel,
What are
Marriott.
they supposed to do? I mean, Marriott.
I know.
All the 5 hotel conglomerates.
The thing you own is there. Like, you can't pick it up and move it. You can't put your hotel on wheels and drive it off.
The interesting one's Pornhub getting out of there. I wonder if that'll have some crazy effects.
If you want to know what's funny, Livestream Studio, what we use to film this podcast, had an update today. And then once I blew it up, opened it up, at the top it said Livestream Studio made in bomb shelters in Ukraine.
Huh. Okay.
I was like, oh shit.
That's interesting.
And that's, and we're using it, for.
I don't give a shit.
Some branding guy.
Some people call me Cool Eric.
in the live
Oh,
stream.
shit.
Some branding guy in live stream is like, we gotta talk about
Maybe
this.
we should let the Russians win.
No, they're like, we gotta promote this fact about us.
Yeah. Hey, use it. Use what you want.
Yeah. So, I guess a bunch of energy companies are exiting. A bunch of finance companies that could really hurt. You said all the real rich oligarch money's all kind of hidden.
Oh, they're going crazy. People are taking over boats and houses.
Yeah, but the one thing that like Russia has been through before is like having nothing.
Sure.
Right.
They barely had much to begin with. Everything in Russia looks like it sucks.
Yeah, it always
All their stuff.
it always
sucks.
looks gray in every
It always looks old as fuck.
gray and blue colors.
Like, how are they still making new things from the 80s?
Crocodile.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing ever like, wow, that's slick from Russia. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's utilitarian. And then it fucking doesn't even do that. Doesn't work either.
I like taking a stab at the accent. I think it's interesting. I don't have much more anything than what we've just talked about. I'm
What
in
do
a
you mean?
rut. I don't know.
Oh, you're
I'm in a
just-
funk.
You're all fucked up from that girl calling you.
Um,
My feelings are all over the place.
no, not.
Fucking thing sucks!
That's what everybody's
I
gonna
was-
say about this episode, and it's your fault.
I say we just call it. Why
Oh
why
my
continue the
God.
madness? What we're not. We did half an episode.
What?
We
I
get
ought to make you just sit here.
in timeout.
Yeah, time out. How about that?
My brain ain't working. That's you want 10 tools to acquire more customers in 2022?
Not really. Not from you with your attitude right now.
Well,
Can I do that?
what do you
I'm
got?
using I got the podcast board. So we could
What's going on in your brain? What's in your noggin?
Some people call me Cool Eric.
You seem out
we
of
could
it
talk.
like
You know
I
what?
do.
My daughter started a business on Sunday where she went around and stole the Japanese plums out of my neighbor's yard.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't realize it's stealing, but I'm like, can't be too blatant about that. Like, you bringing a basket down there and shit. And her and her friend set up outside on the corner of my house selling bags of these things to all my neighbors
Mm-hmm.
at $1 a bag. And like, I went in to try and tell me if I'm being a dick. I was trying to take a minute to explain some business stuff while she's doing it. And I'm like, I
Oh.
remember you got to pay me. You got to pay me for those bags you're putting them in. And Jess was like, don't do that. I'm like, what? Why? I was like, I thought this was a teachable moment.
Well, I'm sure you didn't just come up and go, "You got to pay me." I'm sure it came in the conversation. Of like, was she like, this is pure profit? Ha ha ha. Ha.
No, she didn't get into it.
Well,
All of this revenue is mine.
It's going right up my
No
nose, Dad.
overhead.
Yeah, I
That's what
mean,
she said.
I don't know. I'd probably do the same thing.
I know.
but
I guess I
can
don't.
be
Why
au-
am I asking you?
I can be autistic about it, so I don't know. Like I feel like it's kind of Ron Parks and Rec Ron. You gonna let me die on that? Who's the guy? Nick Offerman.
Ron.
Nick Offerman on Parks and Rec.
Yeah. There's an animal. There's a bird in his name.
Brain's not working, dude. It's not gonna jog anything.
I'm not gonna tell you.
I was almost asleep in a recliner right before we started. So,
Oh, okay.
Funches, that's a comic.
John.
Ron Livingston.
John?
John's, the bad grocery store in L.A.
Ron and Ron.
Swanson. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have
got
you the scene where he talks about taxes and he eats the little girl sandwich.
Yeah.
He goes, "Let me teach you about taxes," and he just eats the fucking almost the whole sandwich.
Right.
It's kind of that's what it reminded me of. That's all.
Okay. All right. Fine. I'll let you off the hook.
All right.
What about my sweat equity?
Sometimes you don't have to use up all the time.
Yeah.
Sweat equity. My sweat equity. My sweat equity.
Sweat equity.
What about my sweat equity?